Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gonzii and today we are going to be reacting to another casual geographic video, man. But before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel already. It helps tremendously, man. And if you subscribe, we are one step closer to the goal. So thank you so much for everybody that's watching. Share the video as well and let's get into this thing. Just another boring video about birds. Because we all know bird is the word, bro. Okay? If you know, you know.
Don't let the baby face and lack of facial hair fool you. Us 90s kids are getting old.
Facts,
One thing
my
they don't
boy.
tell you about getting old.
Getting up there, man.
That bird watcher phase really comes out of nowhere. You'll just be minding your own affairs
Sure.
and then one day, unprovoked, you'll be like, that is an immaculate looking grackle. We laughed, but the whole time he was right. The bird is the word. And is he
Bird's the
wrong? Just
word.
look at Buddy go. I could watch that
Wait,
for a
a
couple
little
of minutes
dance, bro.
without getting bored. This is an American woodcock, and I know what you're thinking.
Pause, bro.
They go by a lot of names, such as the timberdoodle, the bogsucker, and the hokum poke. As
No,
for the partridge
timberdoodle.
plugwalk, woodcocks eat worms, and it's believed
Their
that a
face
cute
is
little woodcock
weird.
waltz to
The
us
eyes
is a
are
category
really
7
up there.
disaster to any earthworms below, and the confusion
They are not
makes it easier
centered,
for a
which is
hokum poke
pissing
to
me
poke 'em
off.
folks. They do their dancey dance in the name of murder, and clearly it takes
That's
some
cute.
time for a woodcock to get the rhythm right. As you can see for this baby bogsucker, the beat is chasing them. They're just faster, but they're trying, and one day they'll get the motion, and that's all you really can do when you're a widow woodcock. Now, if I've gotten older, there's one bird I've really grown to appreciate.
Look at that.
This is a blue.
It's not centered, bro.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Let's
The
address it.
booby. Yep.
Why blue? We'll get to that, but the blue-footed booby is a seabird of the Sula genus, along with the masked booby, the Nazca booby, Peruvian booby, brown booby, and the red-footed booby. Because don't let poor media representation fool you. Boobies come in
they're
a
like
lot
flamingos.
of colors, but to be fair, you might have
Like,
only ever
because
seen
of
blue.
what they eat,
Well,
they
the
get their
blue
feet
comes from the
blue.
carotenoid pigments in the fish they eat. It's really
Knew
no
that,
different from the
knew
fruit
that.
that turns
I'm
flamingos
on.
pink. And if you
Yep,
identify
true.
as Bugs Bunny, the carrot consumption can tint you tangerine.
True.
For bluefoots, the color actually correlates to their health, and by extension, how attractive they are to a partner. And there's no stolen valor in this system. Scientists did an experiment where the boobies starved for 48 hours saw an immediate decrease in the brightness of their blue. They took it a step further by taking a male booby, we'll call him a moobie, that already had a
Not
female
a
laying egg in
moobie,
his nest,
bro.
and dulled his
Come
feet with
on.
makeup. His mate responded to the nerf by laying a smaller egg days later, one with less yolk concentration and therefore less of a chance of living. So yeah, the brightness of a booby means everything and is a literal blue check that verifies their immunological health. Funny thing, you see the same thing with mandrills. Male mandrills look like they got rear-ended by a snow cone machine because it's a sign of
Yeah,
social
it's so
status.
weird,
The higher
man.
the status, the higher the saturation. But a mandrill that gets regularly bullied and beaten will lose its cheek color, so that's why alpha mandrills look like they're constantly cotton candy constipated. The brighter the butt, the more he procreates, and
How's
brighter
that
boobies
happen,
get
man?
more groupies, which is why their courtship display involves birds flaunting their colorway. It's like red bombs, but for crip. It honestly looks like they're on a mission not to crease their sneaks, and the final act of this dance involves the movie presenting his partner with nest material. Even though blue-footed boobies don't even make nests. Nah, instead they thug it out on the ground, while defecating 360 until the dried product forms a ring around the nest. Why?
Damn.
Well, as it turns out, boobies have a poor sense of smell, but great visual memory, and in a flock of up to 10,000, they recognize
true.
their nest by the specific ring of guano, and guano stands for gonna wanna stay in that ring, because somehow that visual memory doesn't apply to their children, and only chicks inside
Bet
the
this
septic
smells
center get
disgusting.
fed. Baby boobies that leave the center not only don't get recognized and don't get fed, they might get massacred by their own mother. Leaving the poop ring. That's not the only way a baby booby
Get
can
the
get
beats,
deflated.
bro.
This seabird practices siblicide, because again, don't let the internet's unrealistic booby
lot of
standards
birds
tell you
do.
otherwise. No pair of boobies are exactly the same. One's always a little bit bigger. And that's okay, it's totally normal, but it does mean the bustier bosom
okay.
will bludgeon and bully the weaker chick, often while the parents watch the booby get murked like mastectomy. It usually happens when parents are low on groceries, but sometimes the booby newbie will catch a body just because. The Nazca booby will
Just
yeet
cause.
its sibling out of the nest, even though studies have proven that boobies working together could easily feed both children.
Did I just catch you on the beach?
Alive?
Bang.
Yeah, it ain't all beauty being a booby. Like I said, unrealistic booby standards aside, they come in many colors like the red-footed variety. Also from their diet, and they also use their feet game to secure a mate. Evidently, it might work too well, as not even a predatory coconut crab can resist getting grabby with an unsuspecting booby bird. But there's more than just crip-walking unmentionables in the world. There's also
Those eyes are
tits.
freaky.
I've definitely grown to appreciate these fleet of flying popcorn chicken. Really nothing like waking up and opening your blinds to a nice pair resting outside your window. Tits are a large family of passerine birds seasoned all across the world. Alright, let me stop waffling. Let's address the elephant in the room. In Eurasia and Africa, they're known as tit birds, but come to America and you'll find they're called
Pickadees! Pickadees!
So I get why you're
Chickadees.
confused. You got an Italian plumber with a Japanese creator using their American name. Understandable, that would trip up anyone. Now with the birds with the tit variety, how they got their name is actually pretty interesting. Back in the day, tit was more like teat, and teat was an old English word for little or small, or even a suggestion of something
right.
small. Matter of fact, there was a time where it was used to reference a small horse or pony in the very derogatory.
cute,
For
bro.
example, no storing of pasture with baggly tits, with ragged with age, and evil at hit. Thomas Tasser. Translation, Tommy had a problem with them horses. But yeah,
Damn.
tit means little, and if you don't believe me, pardonnez mon français, mais petite means little.
Yep, it
So that
does.
is un petit peu.
When you go to the shops,
Also
yeah,
an
and you see a
old-timer
petit
language,
gâteau,
bus referred
that
to
means a
bird.
little
They gave
cake,
a telephone
bro, a
turning
small
bus
cake.
into mouse.
I
It's
think
how
it's
there's
little
now a
cake.
group of birds known as titmouse. English lesson aside, when it comes to
Blue
birds,
tit.
there's a lot of tits in the world, and they come in all shapes and sizes. My favorite is the long-tailed tit. Look at him. He's like my final boss of bird
That's so
bias.
cute,
It's one of
man.
Europe's smallest birds, cause you know, they tend to keep it pretty putsy, except in Sweden. They got big ones over there. In fact, it's home to the great tit. At about 5.5
Damn, bro.
inches as far as tits go, they sure are. Can't leave the Americans out, so of course we gotta shout out Saltriparus minimus, or the bush tit. And representing the aforementioned deep mouse is the tufted titmouse of Texas. Obviously they're found in more than just Texas, but ain't no stops in alliteration station. But back to my preference, the
so
long-tailed
tiny.
tit. And not just because of shape, although I do like them round. I don't really have a preference.
Bro,
They're all beautiful.
come
He's just
on.
built like a perfect snowball. And something about
He
watching
is.
them hang in the air is just satisfying. But also because they have a daycare system. Nature just couldn't let a long-tailed tit
They're
walk,
really
so they have a
wrong, bro.
lot of predators like owls,
Who doesn't like
weasels,
that?
and even unnatural ones like domestic cats they can thank us for. The war on tits means their airborne cotton ball has a high nest failure rate.
Such
but
dumb
the thing
names,
is, if
bro.
their family becomes compromised in the middle of their nesting season in May, because tits usually pop out in the spring, instead of trying again, usually what they'll do is help out a nearby nest. Now the helpers are usually
Oh,
related,
okay.
but in a study, half of all the long-tailed nests had at least one and usually more recruits helping the cause. As you can guess, the
Oh.
chicks raised with helpers have a better chance of surviving a trip around the sun, and the
Look at
experience
bro.
means the helpers' future
Hey,
children
man,
have
feed
better
me
luck
too,
at
man.
life. So basically, these birds are the embodiment of it takes a village, and it's always a pleasant
It
sight to
does.
see tits sticking together for the greater good. And I gotta say,
For
out
the
of all these
greater
birds,
good.
I really like the of this one. Also pronounced giz, is a term used by bird watchers to describe the overall appearance or impression of said bird, typically garnered from attributes such as size, shape, flying pattern, posture, coloration. It's all about aura, the vibes. For example,
The aura,
some favor
bro.
the J work of a booby. Me, I prefer the vibe of a long-tailed tit. Everyone has a preference. Woosah.
That's true.
I hope you didn't think we were done, because we also have the tit babbler of the family Tumulidae. Now you know where the TIT part spawned from, but the babble of it all referenced the constant babbling sounds they make. And obviously the naming guy wasn't into it. There's a lot of types of old world tit babblers, but probably the most famous one is the fluffy-backed tit babbler of Southeast Asia. And honestly, they're pretty, and I wasn't a believer at first, but I do see the fluffy part coming into play, so having a name with babble, it's kind of disrespectful. Surely
It is
someone cares for what a
disrespectful.
talking tit bird has to say, but hey, they could have been done way, way worse. This is a dick sizzle. It's basically a cardinal you can find in the American Midwest and Central America. As in, they have all their hanky-spanky fun times in the US Midwest during their breeding season from about early June to mid-August. Then, before
Okay.
fall, the symphony of sizzle dicks migrate en masse to Central and South America.
Oh,
They nest on the
alright.
ground, and they're highly territorial and will run fades in the name of property development. So if you walk outside to a hyper-pigmented popcorn kernel running the ones, you sir have a case of aggressive dick sizzles. But considering they're only 5 inches long, you'd much rather hear those words on your front lawn than from a doctor in a clinic. And the same way the morning dove brings you back to waking up in your childhood bedroom, dick sizzle might have been your summer anthem and you didn't even realize it. In fact, that's how they got their name. Apparently after what the naming guy thought their song sounded like in words. And somehow that was enough to get named
Ooh.
like an STD. If that's onomatopoeia, I wouldn't want to be ya. Speaking of which, this is the go-away bird of Africa. Same timing as Richard Sizzle. Their lore is that their
Bro's
call sounds
trim
like
is
Kowe.
good, you know.
Apparently was in the neighborhood
Bro's
of
barber
Galway.
was on
At
it.
first I wasn't feeling it, but if I try really hard, I can make myself hear it. Or I could just be getting Barbied again.
Oh, fuck! Those were vintage!
Did he not just curse? The fun thing about them is
Oh,
it's
it's that old
believed that is an
Barbie.
alarm call to warn other go-aways and actually even other animals of predators. Conceptually, if that's true, that's really cool. And that's it for the onomatopoeia portion. Let's talk about the rough-faced shag. It sounds like a euphemism for the cultural appropriation of canine coitus. Really, it's a rare seabird endemic to New Zealand. Shout out New Zealand. A cormorant. if
Shout
you
out
will.
to the
You know what else is
Kiwis,
a
bud.
cormorant? I believe you've met. This aquatic attack on Titan is also called a king shag, and the rough face thing comes from the
King
patch
shag,
of dry
yeah.
yellow skin called the caruncle. Lots of birds have this, like the king vulture. By the way, do not Google caruncles on a pigeon. I'm serious, that ruined my whole vibe. For big shaggy, the caruncles really swell up and brighten during breeding season. Also, that ring around their eye turns an even bolder blue. It's really no different from the blue of a booby bird. Consider it amorous eczema. And it's not the weirdest thing a bird will do for attention. This is a sage grouse.
I knew this one.
This is the part of the video that might actually get me got. Two things. One, that's a guy. And two, those implants are inflatable guller sacs that they pop out for female validation. What they'll do is gangs of grouses will gather in groups called leks, that's L-E-K, and they'll display their headlights in a courtship dance that you can actually hear from 3 miles away. It's very competitive, and they'll spend hours a day doing it. And in the center of the lek is the biggest bosom bird, the dominant male that gets to mate with pretty much 80% of the girl grouses there.
Whoa,
now let's be honest,
80,
you and I probably had the same thought when we saw this. How do they avoid predators when they're built like an uppercase cry for attention? Yeah, see, that's the thing though. Grouses have the peacock problem, where their biggest flex often gets them flatlined by predators. Those chesticles mean guy grouses get griefed by eagles so bad that the ratio of girls to guys can be 2 to 1.
Eagles
There's
see
another
that
bird that gets
from
their
a
legs.
mile away,
This
bro.
is an Andean cock of the rock, and shout out to Peru, that is their national bird.
Bro, it's the same
That is who you
color
can
as my
blame for
drink.
this. They have one of the biggest glow-ups in nature because that's how they look fresh out the shell. The cock of the rock will also gather in leks and also put on a show for female attention. I wish I had more videos I could show you, but apparently cock of the rocks are difficult to witness because apparently they're shy and easy to disturb because even a rock cock can get performance anxiety. Again, it happens, it's totally normal. I mean, not to this guy, but with a name like Superb Bird of Paradise, thinking otherwise would be a failure of your expectations. But whether you see it or not, the bird of Peru really knows how to rock out with his cock. Okay, that's gonna do it for this video. I feel like with all the chest jokes I made, it's only right that I donate to the breast cancer organization. So link down below if you'd like to do so as well. Also, did you know 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer? Stop playing with y'all health. Go get screened. A dead booby is a terrible thing. Also, I feel like I keep forgetting to plug the fact that I have a Patreon, so if you'd like to support this nonsense beyond just subscribing, the link will also be in the description. But as always, honestly, I'm not really hurting right now. Like, don't give something you need. Not in this economy. Like, it's cool if you do, but
same.
I don't really need it. I would appreciate if you liked the video. Y'all know I usually don't ask that without offering something, but
that's all I ask
as
well. Like the video and subscribe.
I'm gonna be kind of this one. But yeah, drink water, hug your mother. I'm telling y'all, birds really do be birding. Take time to appreciate. And I'ma see y'all
in the next one. So there we have it, guys. Another banger by Casual Geographic, man. Bro stays the GOAT. And yeah, a lot of stuff we have learned. Bro, the tit bird, the booby bird, mad names, but yeah. Shout out to Casual Geographic, man. And like bro said, in this economy, bro, and in the way things are going, all we can ask and all we should ask of you guys is for you guys to subscribe and like the video. That's all I ask. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for none of that stuff. All I ask for is you subscribe and like the video. And I hope you do. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching the video, man. All glory to God as always. And I see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.